Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm Stephanie Haney. Welcome back to 3 News Now. This is your afternoon update for Monday, June 22nd, where we let you know the top headlines from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. If you are watching this now in Mahoning or Trumbull counties, listen up because there is a tornado warning in effect right now. The National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for the southern parts of Trumbull County and north central Mahoning County. That's until later today. So just to remind everyone, a tornado warning means that a tornado is currently happening or is about to happen in your area. One may have already been spotted. Around 1:15 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Lordstown, or 9 miles south of Warren, moving northeast at 20 miles per hour. Locations that are impacted by this warning include Warren, Niles, Cortland, Lordstown, Bristolville, Vienna Center, Hilltop, Levittsburg, Austintown, Girard, Vienna, McDonald, North Jackson, Howland Center, Bollandale, Mineral Ridge, Champion Heights, and Churchill. Flying debris will be dangerous to those people who are caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. There will be damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles expected to occur. Tree damage is also expected to be likely, so everyone within those areas is advised right now to take cover, move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Again, this is for people in Mahoning and Trumbull counties. There is a tornado warning in effect right now, which means that a tornado is already happening or is about to occur, and one may have already been spotted. We have those details as well on WKYC.com and the WKYC app if you're just joining us and missed that list of locations that are impacted. Now we do have the most up-to-date numbers from the Ohio Department of Health, which come in every day at 2 p.m. So here are the numbers related to COVID-19 coronavirus here in the state of Ohio. Unfortunately, cases are way up again today. Deaths are up slightly. Hospitalizations are up, but the ICU newly reported numbers are down for today. The total number of confirmed and probable cases in Ohio, based on that expanded CDC definition, is now 45,537. That's 729 new cases reported today at 2 p.m. in the last 24 hours, according to the Ohio Department of Health. Yesterday, we saw 546 new cases. Over the past several days, we have seen higher numbers of new cases reported. Last week on Thursday, we saw 700 new cases reported. That was quite a jump from Wednesday, June 17th, when we saw 412 new cases reported. So those were the numbers that we had been used to seeing, numbers in the 300s and numbers in the 400s. But again, today, we are back in the 700 range with 729 new cases of COVID-19 reported today. The total number of deaths in the state of Ohio dating back to March 9th is now 2,704, with 4 new deaths reported today as of 2 p.m. That's up from yesterday when we saw 3 new deaths reported. The total number of hospitalizations is now 7,292, which is 50 new hospitalizations reported today. That's up from 41 new hospitalizations reported on Sunday. Here's where we are down ever so slightly. The total number of ICU admissions is now 1,852. We saw 8 new ICU admissions reported today. That is down from 11 new ICU admissions reported on Sunday. To give you a look at how we're looking nationally as well as globally related to COVID-19 numbers, here in the U.S., the total number of cases is now near 2.3 million. It's 2,289,168. That's about 25% of the global cases. Globally, there are now 9,003,042 known COVID-19 cases. Here in the U.S., the total number of deaths is now 120,044, and that's about 26% of the global number of known deaths from COVID-19. The total number of global deaths that have been attributed to COVID-19 is now 469,122, so getting pretty close to that 500,000 mark. We have some more sad news to report out of East Cleveland. An 8-year-old girl is in critical condition after being shot in the head. Police say the shooting happened on Forest Hills Boulevard near Euclid Avenue in a parking lot. This is a couple of blocks down from the East Cleveland Public Library, to give you an idea of where this incident occurred. Officers found the child with a gunshot wound to her head at around 8:30 p.m. last night. The young girl was rushed to university hospitals where she had surgery, and she is currently in the intensive care unit, as we said, in critical condition. The suspected shooter has been identified as a 17-year-old boy. Sorry about that, my dog just bumped the camera. The suspected shooter has been identified as a 17-year-old boy, and U.S. Marshals have now joined the East Cleveland Police Department in the search for that teenage boy. If you have any information at all related to this shooting, please contact the East Cleveland Police Department's Detective Bureau. You can reach them at 216-681-2162. Tips can remain anonymous, and you could receive up to a $2,500 reward if you do provide information related to finding the suspect, who is believed to be responsible for shooting the little girl, who is now in critical condition. Valley View's restaurant, Yours Truly, has closed for a bit after an employee has tested for COVID-19. It's located on Rockside Road, and it will be closed now for the next 2 weeks. Yours Truly confirmed this on Saturday on a Facebook post, and they said that they are acting immediately and following all of the CDC's best practices guidelines in order to make sure that they can stop the spread of COVID-19. They also said that they are having the location professionally cleaned and are recommending that all employees quarantine for the next 14 days. This week, we expect to hear more from Governor Mike DeWine on the reopening of kindergarten through 12th grade schools in Ohio. Today, however, multiple school officials across the state participated in a virtual discussion about reopening and related critical policy priorities in order to ensure success for students and staff. Here's some of the people who were involved in the conversation. Eric Gordon, who is the CEO of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, David James, Superintendent of Akron Public Schools, Julie Sellers, President of the Cincinnati Federation of Teachers, Dr. Elizabeth Lawley, who is Superintendent of Dayton Public Schools, and Kevin Dalton, who is President of the Toledo Federation of Teachers. During the discussion, David James, the Superintendent of Akron Public Schools, said that in Akron they estimate that each student will need up to 3 gallons of hand sanitizer per year in order to follow the recommended protocols and keep people safe and help stop the spread of COVID-19. He said according to this estimates, that could cost close to $4 million every year to provide their students, 20-some thousand students, with hand sanitizer alone, and they expect to spend at least $2 million to provide the appropriate masks to students in the K through 12 grades. The Ohio 8 Coalition, which is an alliance of state school leaders from 8 urban districts, released a statement saying that they will not move forward without considering the financial and the safety impacts of any and all decisions for the 2020-2021 school year and beyond. So we sort of remain in that limbo state. We know that we don't know what schools are going to look like next year. There have been lots of models thrown out there, blended models of combining at-home instruction with in-person instruction, all kinds of things. So we know now that the Ohio 8 Coalition is saying that they will not move forward until they've been able to consider all aspects of what it will look like to have in-person schooling next year for 2020, 2021, and beyond. Here's some uplifting news that's been happening around the greater Cleveland area. There are murals popping up everywhere following the demonstrations that we had just about a month ago following the killing of George Floyd, who died at the hands of a now fired Minneapolis police officer, Derek Chauvin, who has since been charged with second-degree murder. Here in Cleveland, our East 93rd Street has become a canvas for a Black Lives Matter mural. We saw this in many other places. We've seen this in Washington, D.C. Here in Cleveland, it's stretching several city blocks. This was helped put together by organizer Ricky Smith, who is a Cleveland actor, writer, and comedian, and his nonprofit, Random Acts of Kindness Everywhere, or RAKE, partnered with Stamey Paul's nonprofit Graffiti Heart in order to put this Black Lives Matter mural together. It was put together by a diverse group of artists, and each letter is unique. We have a full gallery on WKYC.com. You absolutely have to check it out. It is beautiful to see. The talent that put the mural together is just as diverse as the actual presentation that you can see on East 93rd Street. There were some more well-known artists. There were also some students from the Cleveland School of Art, some young students there working in order to make something beautiful out of what has been a terrible situation for this entire country. There's also one new mural downtown as well as part of Downtown Cleveland Alliance's Voices of CLE Public Art Project. It's in Public Square. You can see it on the Rebel Coffee Shop, which has been boarded up because it was damaged in the demonstrations that happened the weekend following George Floyd's death here in Cleveland. So it has the silhouettes of several people lined up, painted in 6 different colors, reminiscent of the colors of the rainbow. That was created by local artist Glenn Infante, and we have photos of that as well on WKYC.com and the WKYC app. It's really beautiful walking around downtown. I can tell you personally, to see the sign of hope when things are still boarded up, many places still not reopening, lots of places not yet putting the glass back in after those demonstrations that happened following George Floyd's death. That is it for our afternoon update here on 3 News Now. Just one more reminder, if you are just joining us, that there is a tornado warning currently in effect for Mahoning and Trumbull counties. Head to WKYC.com and our WKYC app for the details on that. This is Stephanie Haney. I'll see you back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. I'll see you next at 5 p.m. on What's New, and we'll also have more coverage for you at 6 p.m. on What Matters Most, 7 p.m. on Front Row, and 11 p.m. on What's Next. Everyone have a great rest of your afternoon.